Thank you very much for having me come again. I'm Suzanne, and there's some sheets around with kind of a background of what we do. I set up this program when I was working at Legal Aid of Western Missouri. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I started to see some people. I was born in Columbia, Missouri. My mother and father were born up in North Missouri. I didn't know we had migrants in Missouri, and we don't have many. We're not a big migrant state. So don't be surprised that you didn't know that we don't have migrants here. Kansas too, small migrant state. Most of the Kansas migrants, because I did some work with them sometimes, are the custom cutters that come for the wheat, all the way from Canada down here, then to Mexico. So they have kids born in Canada, kids born in the United States, kids born in Mexico, going back and forth being custom cutters. In Missouri, the largest population of migrants that I started with was down in the boot heel of Missouri, probably about 9 hours away from here. Kennett is kind of the basic part of it, but they have rice down there, they have cotton, they have peaches, they have apples, they have corn, they have a lot of different things, but a lot of melons, and those things are specific people come for that. So the watermelon people are about 2 weeks, and lots of ins and out. There are a lot of people down there, and I realized pretty early that we couldn't, from Kansas City, really do a lot more than immigration help. And so I had helped set up a food pantry down there, a migrant clinic down there, that now are separate and on their own, and we just go down there for immigration. So that left us with Lafayette County, which is the largest county in the state that has migrants coming in. Year-round, we have about 70 to 75 families that stay year-round. Again, I didn't know much about farm work myself, but you know, you don't have apple trees and peach trees unless some people are there all year, and then the migrants come in to help. So about most of the year, we have about 350 people, and then about 3 weeks ago, another 400 appeared. And so it goes just a really big swoop of people coming in. Many of them are people that I've known now for almost 40 years. They come back here year after year. I think primarily because for many of them, it's the longest time they're anywhere, about 3.5 months, sometimes 4. And we have a lot of services. What they tell us is, we don't go anywhere where there's a place like you all that come out to see us rather than having to have us come in to see you, and that you can have everything. We go to places that have something to help our kids. We go to places that have a food pantry, but we don't have cars. So we can't get to all those places. If somebody else is coming and they have a car and they're willing to bring us some food, but otherwise we can't get to all these places. So we go out to the labor camps. We go every Thursday. On Mondays, for the people that do have a car, they come in. Ellie, Rocky, Doug, Joel, and Brad were there last Monday helping us, making food bags that will be given out next week. But we also go out on the camps on Thursdays. So on Monday nights, people come in. Thursday nights, we take 4 or 5 vehicles and take them out to the camps, and we were out there Thursday. I was also out there yesterday. We have a brand new baby. I think a lot of people here have heard about her. Her name is Chloe. She was born a month early to an 18-year-old who lives in a trailer with 12 other people, a 1-bedroom trailer with 12 people, and now 13 with Chloe. And so I was out getting some formula for her, for Chloe. So one of the things that I think is important to us is that we don't see what we're doing as charity. We see it as justice. They are every bit as needy and as we are. Everything we get, we can pass on to them. We also have in our mission statement, no human being is illegal. I mean, we hear in the paper and TV and everything every day about people being illegal. Elie Wiesel said that when he was awarded with the Nobel Peace Prize, that no human being is illegal. So we don't call them illegal. They may not have documentation to be here, and probably about half of the people that we serve are in that status. Many of them are people who did come here legally as a migrant, but they have very short periods of being able to be here. And if they're offered a permanent job, they're just happy to stay. And so the H-2A visa program, we have probably about 30 guys that are there that have been here now for 2 or 3 years that were supposed to be here for 3 months. This year's H-2As, there are 62 of them, and they're supposed to leave on October 12th. Well, the peach and apple season won't be over by then. So my guess is that some of them will leave and some of them will stay. So what do we do? Pretty much anything they ask us to do, anything that they ask us for help. We have set up a clinic system probably about 25 years ago. It's a small, very small primary care system. It's called HCC Network. We have 5 small clinics. And we have clinic nights just for migratory people on Monday nights during the apple season. And for many of them, it's the only place that they can get medical care. What the nurse practitioners, it's a nurse practitioner in each clinic, and then there's one overseeing MD. Their system is if they have seen this person before, and if they seem to be still on the same systems, the medication that they got is still, then they will give them a 1-year prescription renewal, which is really, really important to them. Many people will get here who haven't been here before, and they'll say, I know what I need, but I haven't been anywhere that I could get it. I mean, the typical issues are diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. Those are pretty common medications, and it's pretty easy to get those almost everywhere they go if they have a prescription. So that's one of the things we do. A lot of dental care, dental care. Dental care is something that often isn't a one-stop thing. You get in, and then you've got this, and then you've got this. So we try to get as many people in on the first 2 nights of dental care so that we can try to get a system done, a treatment plan done while they're here. School, we have this year about 112 kids in 3 different school districts across the 60 miles. Lafayette County is the immediate county next to Jackson. So if you're in Independence and you go about 10 miles east, you're in Lafayette County. And that county has several different school districts. We have kids in 3 of them. Wellington is the smallest. Wellington is all one school district in one building. From 2 levels of preschool to seniors, they had 227 kids last year. So teeny tiny. Our kids are the only minority. They're almost the only minority in the county. Lafayette County was on the wrong side of the Civil War. There are Confederate cemeteries there. There are Confederate flags flying there. So there aren't many black people in Lafayette County for good reason, because it's still not the most hospitable. So other things that we do besides food bags, hygiene kits, school supplies. I think we gave out school supplies to about 100 kids this year. backpacks and school supplies. Clothing, they're very limited in the clothing that they can bring with them. So they need t-shirts and things right away, baseball caps right away. They're here late July, early August, and they're still here in October. So they also need blankets. They don't need coats really, but they need sweatshirts, hoodies, things like that as it starts to get cold. Peace Church has been donors and supporters of ours from the beginning, from where you very started. As Holly told you, I'm Jewish, and we met Holly through a young pastors group that was meeting together. And the new young pastor woman at our synagogue knew Holly and introduced her, and I've known her ever since. So we've, Peace Church has been a big part of our lives, and coming out to help us is a good thing. I want to tell you, I have a piece on my wall from Hebrews 13:2. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing that, some have entertained angels without knowing it. These people that we're serving in general, I'm not going to tell you that there's occasionally a guy that is a little difficult, but they are the easiest people to serve. They are so grateful for the smallest things we do. On Thursday night when we were out there, Nico said, just hold on, just a second. He ran back in his unit and he brought out this pan like you would make biscuits on, that he had made some bread. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a guy do something like that before from a labor camp. And he said, I just got them out of the oven. I want you guys to take these when you go. I want you to have something, you know, it's already 8 o'clock at night, and I know you probably haven't had anything to eat. You know, here he is worrying about us when we're bringing food to him. I said, Nico, do you make these all the time? And all the guys are like, yeah, he makes them every day. I said, okay, well, we don't usually give you flour because we didn't think in the labor camps of single guys you were making these. Next time we'll bring flour for you. So how can you help us? I think helping us find good staff. We need people who speak Spanish, ideally. We can usually get by with one that doesn't speak Spanish, but we really need people who are fluent in Spanish. We need people who want to do service work. And we have a pretty young staff of people, so people who are willing to be out there early in the morning, late at night, weekends if that's necessary. Pinto beans is a daily item in their food, and so right now Harvesters doesn't seem to have pinto beans, so pinto beans are really important for us right now. Playing cards. If any of you know anybody at the casinos, or you know, they can only use those cards, I don't know exactly what the timing is, but they throw them away. And so if you know anybody that goes, if they can just say, hey, can you give me a box of your cards that you're going to throw away? We hand those out to guys, gives them something to do. The labor camp guys have no transportation. They are miles from the road. They're in a rural area where their cell phones don't work. So really, they are just there. They're working from early in the morning till late at night, but they do seem to like playing cards. So we've had some playing cards showing up from people that know people that go to casinos and can get them for us. T-shirts and baseball caps. Baseball caps are what they wear. They're looking up into trees all the time. That's what they do. So I'd be happy to answer questions if people have questions, but I think we're probably about at the end of the time. and I'll be here afterwards if you have other questions. If you want to come out and just kind of be there, that's fine too. The group that came and made bags made 88. The 5 of them made 88 food bags, which is a lot. That's a lot to put together, and they were there for about 2 hours. Yeah, so anytime you want to come out, we'll be happy to have you. Thank you.